Hello, everyone! I brought met my local transformerologist.
Oh! We
What?
now understand Cut.
Okay. I was just
He
going to
is
say.
the old man who's seen everything and been everywhere. And I love him and I wish more people used him.
I was just going to say that you were my transformerologist.
I'm that too.
I know that's a word I just made up, but the only two that I know of is Chris McFeely over here and you. Because, yeah.
I'm sure Kai's an honorary one. Hang on, I'm gonna go grab my cup off the toy shelf. I
No,
have
he's
a
a.
G1 right over here.
No, Kai's a sonicologist. But yeah, on that note, I
Got
don't
him.
know. I don't know much about Cup. I do wish he had a better name, though. From his design, he's probably from the movie, is what I'm getting. Do his rounded design because a lot of Transformers don't really
Yeah?
have the
You
round
can
look.
really tell when... You can tell the movie designs apart.
Hmm. Anyway, we're going to go into this, but remember to subscribe to Chris McFeely because he does wonderful work for
Also,
the Transformers world and all of the
as for
fans.
why his name is that, pickup.
Oh,
As in pickup truck.
why not just make his name Pickup then?
Because it's not as memorable as Cup.
I feel like it is. But anyway, we're getting
Might have
sidetracked.
already been in use. I think one of the Brazilian mini-bots has that name.
Listen, there's a Transformer for every day of the month. Or Transformer for every day of the 10,000 years at this point with how many different names there are. Anyway. We're going to head into this and see where it goes. Ready, everyone? Let's go.
They say old soldiers never die. They
Oh.
just fade away. But this week, we're looking at the history
Heroes
of
never
one
die.
old Autobot soldier who's refused to do either. These are the basics on
Outside of
Cup.
IDW. Thanks versus
character of
Visionaries.
Cup
Thanks a lot.
What are you on about there?
We'll get to it.
Really?
I assume that it's going to be in this video.
Well, most of everything else has been, so yeah, probably. Anyway, yeah.
Created for 1986's The Transformers the Movie. He was initially conceived by writer Ron Friedman with the alternate mode of a Sherman tank, and so was named Tanker. But as the
Really?
movie's development continued, and its setting was advanced to the then future year of 2005,
The
he wound
future
up
year of
being reimagined
2005.
as a futuristic pickup truck from which his
Without a
new name
tailgate.
was derived. Pickup, you get it?
Oh,
Like most of the film's new cast members,
I mean,
Cup was
it's not the
created
worst
for
truck design.
animation first by character designer Floro
Still
Deering,
can't haul
whose
anything,
artwork
but yeah.
was then used as the
Yeah,
basis
use some
for the
bungee
toy,
cords.
which was the opposite of how Transformers were normally created.
Yeah, this
as
from
the
originally
toy
the
usually came
movie.
First. However,
Yeah.
animation studio Toei would further modify Deering's design after
never heard it
production
pronounced
of
like
the
that.
toy began, resulting
Really?
in the figure looking somewhat
What's sort of
different to
pronounced
Cup's
Toei?
finalized
Not
appearance
Toei.
Yeah, different pronunciations,
in
I think.
animation. Voiced in the movie by celebrity performer Lionel Stander,
I know
Cup
that
was a
name from
curmudgeonly
somewhere.
old Autobot who
I
had
don't.
lived a long life of adventure across the galaxy
like I've heard
and
that
was
name.
always keen to share the wisdom of his experience with the
the
younger
musket
generation,
laser.
usually by telling a tall tale of one of his past exploits.
Of course.
He served as mentor to the young Autobot Hot Rod, determined to teach the hot-headed punk a thing or two on adventures
thing
that
or
took
two.
him
Yeah,
from
nowadays,
Earth to standing
characters
trial
that could
on
be
the
Cup are
watery
normally
world
just
of
Ratchet.
the alien Quintessons.
Is it either Ratchet or Ironhide?
I don't think they've ever really gone for Old Man Ironhide.
I thought the original was Old Man Ironhide.
No, Ironhide's just Southern, not old.
Alright. I guess.
Turbo rubbing, young punk. I'll straighten you out yet.
I'll straighten you out.
After the film, Cup continued to appear as a main cast member in the third season of the Transformers cartoon, in a new role as Cybertron's head of security, his voice now provided by series regular John Stevenson.
Did I ever tell you about the time I was flying in
That
this
still works.
busted shuttle named Jonagar?
Jonagar.
The showcase episode, Chaos,
Yonagar.
revealed a dark secret from Cup's past, the one story he didn't like to tell. As a
Oh.
young bot, he had encountered the terrible monster, Chaos. and had
Chaos?
Run away, leaving his
Chaos.
Every time I hear chaos, I immediately think of the Chaos Emeralds nowadays. Damn you, Sonic!
It's Chaos, you fool! The god of destruction!
Anyway,
Alternatively, if you prefer your more modern memes, we're gonna kill Chaos.
ah yes, the one Final Fantasy game to, for some reason, have Frank Sinatra's My Way at the start and at the end. It's so confusing. Whenever I just like messing with people for Final Fantasy by explaining the plot of that game.
companions behind. The episode saw
I
Cup
read the
put
plot of
this
that game
old
and it
shame
hurt me.
to rest as he returned to confront Chaos and end his threat for good.
Oh,
In 1987,
Fun
Cup's
fact
toy
about
was
that episode, by the
re-released
way.
as a
For all the flashback scenes, they actually used Cup's original character model before it got refined by Toei.
interesting.
Like, it crops up a lot during Season 3, but this is the one time it wasn't an animation error.
That is actually pretty interesting. It's a weird
Targetmaster,
callback, but definitely
a kind
interesting.
of transformer who
Yeah.
came with a
Yeah.
partner
Need a different
minifigure
word.
that transformed into a
Get
gun
'em.
for them to wield. Cup's partner was a tiny alien from the planet Nebulos, a retired
yes, this.
sportsman named Recoil.
Yeah, I
The
have the
story
original.
of how Cup became a
Huh.
Targetmaster was told in the cartoon's
Die-cast
three-part
wheels and
finale,
everything.
The Rebirth, in which he was part of a group of Autobots blasted across the galaxy to Nebulos by a plasma energy explosion, where they joined forces with a team of
Plasma Energy
Nebulan
Explosion
rebels
would be a
to
great
defeat the
band name.
planet's evil
Yeah, it
rulers
would be.
and their Decepticon allies.
Of course.
However, Cup's Targetmaster toy wasn't released in Japan, and the
Weird.
Rebirth wasn't aired there.
Yeah.
Instead, a Japanese original sequel
Ah,
series
yes,
was
we need to get back
produced,
to this at some
The
point.
Headmasters,
Yeah,
which quickly
it was
phased
weird and I
Cup
liked it.
out, sending him off on a quest with Blur and Rodimus Prime to search for a
Really
new
funny to
planet
remember.
transform
That's the
into-
last time anyone saw The Matrix in Japanese G1. Rodimus just fucked off with it.
Oh, he never... Oh,
He didn't pass it to Fort Max.
huh. That feels important.
It probably was.
could call home after Cybertron was destroyed by the Decepticons. Cup also appeared in the Transformers comic published in the United Kingdom by Marvel, which, like the toy, also based his appearance on Floro Deary's earlier designs. The comic depicted Cup as a time traveler who, on several occasions, came back from the future era seen in the movie to help stop Decepticon leader
Rodimus,
Galvatron
what the fuck
from
are you
conquering
doing?
the
I don't
past.
know. His eyes look red.
A spotlight story in issue number 132 fleshed out Cup's backstory, revealing that once the old soldier had been forced to retire from active duty when he began to suffer from combat fatigue. He had
Oh.
spent his days roaming the galaxy in misery until he crossed paths with Hot Rod, whose youthful heroism lit a fire in Cup that gave him the strength of will to overcome his condition and
I'm
return
gonna
to
bully
action
this
to
child.
save Hot Rod from hostile aliens. It wasn't until the release of his Targetmaster toy that Cup was added to the cast of Marvel's American comic book, in which his present
Yeah,
day
the movie
self
cast is just
appeared
kinda
as part of a crew
there.
of Autobots.
So they don't really do anything with him. That is a problem in comics sometimes.
That's
where
the problem with Headmasters in general, because they had to introduce a good 20, 30 characters in a 4-issue miniseries, because you got to introduce the Target Masters. You got to introduce the Headmasters, and because they didn't do anything with the movie cast prior to this, that means that this is their introduction to the U.S. comics, because Cyclonus and Scourge were also Target Masters,
See,
as well as Hot Rod and Blur.
this is a similar problem some superhero movies have, where they have to introduce so many characters at once, all of a sudden. And this is the first. This is for the first time we see him. So
Oh, and they were introduced 2 combiner teams, the fucking Duocons, though they were mostly just background extras, and Six Shot, who was also a background extra.
wow, I do not envy
The
the.
Headmasters is a very busy miniseries.
I do not envy the person that had to write that story.
I don't envy the person who had to draw it. There are so many times where someone draws the wrong character or colors the character with the wrong person's color scheme. It's great.
I, I'm not surprised. You basically told me they had to, like, get 50 characters ready.
More or less.
Dear God. And this isn't even one of those things where it's Marvel, where you can easily distinguish them.
Bots who
Or, well,
acquired
you know, superhero Marvel. You know what I mean.
Nebulon partners when
Yeah.
they relocated to the planet in an effort to escape.
I'm not gonna lie. In the late Marvel
Though
comic, I kept
Cup's
mistaking
toy
Getaway
was
for Cup.
discontinued in 1988. He remained part of the comic's cast until its end in 1991, in a notable supporting role as Optimus Prime's short-tempered head of security, dissatisfied with Prime's soft-hearted command
I'm
decisions.
not fond of the
And he would
style
even
late
show up
Marvel took.
regularly
I
in
don't
the
like that
comic's
face.
1993
Yeah, I
sequel
will
series.
say a lot of the Transformers faces look a little too roundish and malleable at the end.
Yeah, no, I don't want to say it looks too human, but it looks a lot of the faces in the late series, they look like they're sculpted out of silly putty.
Yeah, a little too rounded, a little too glossy.
So apparently Derek Yaniger took that in the exact opposite direction come G2.
Yeah.
You can
Reese
cut yourself on this
Transformers
man.
Generation 2. In the 21st century, it's comics that have been the media in which Cup has had his most
And now he's got a
prominent
cigar.
appearances, especially those
Yeah, it
from
stopped him from murdering
IDW
people.
Publishing.
What?
Cup was introduced into IDW's universe in his own self-titled Spotlight one-shot in 2007.
Oh.
A horror story in which he was marooned on an alien world and hunted by monsters.
Oh,
Unaware
God.
that his mind had been damaged by the planet's radioactive crystals, and that the monsters were really
Thanks, Shockwave.
Autobots trying to come to his rescue.
Oh, God.
Eventually saved
Oh,
and
great
healed thanks to
Shockwave
the
again.
efforts of his old pupil
Yeah,
Springer,
the
Cup
Shockwave
was
made the crystals.
reintroduced as a hard-bitten
Oh,
squad
God.
leader in
Also,
2008.
kind of glossed over,
Neil
there was a
Megatron
very
went on
big
to
body count in rescuing him.
Really?
Yeah, no, there were fucking piles of Autobot corpses.
Oh, God.
And someone asked Springer, at what point do we just abandon him? The
Uh,
cigar stops him from relapsing.
Oh, that's what you... Oh.
Since it emits a synthetic version of the crystal radiation on a lower dosage.
That's better, I think.
serve as a major recurring player on and off
Yeah, Spotlight
for the
Cup's a
next
dark story, but a
decade
good
of
one.
comics.
Yeah.
On many adventures
Like, I
across
like a dark
Earth,
story, but that
Cybertron,
comes out of
and
nowhere.
even other dimensions that included joining up with the Autobot commando unit, the Wreckers, for several deadly missions,
Cool.
and partnering with British superhero Action Man and other human allies.
Also
in the
that time he
showcase
was dragged into a
miniseries
zombie universe.
Revolutionaries,
Oh.
before his story finally reached an end when he was killed by Viralina,
Who?
evil magic-wielding
Oh.
knight from the planet Prismos.
Like I said, thanks versus
IDW's
Visionaries.
comics remain the biggest role Cup has had since the 80s,
And then no one
several
did anything with
notable
the Visionaries again.
Doesn't that always happen? Like, they try to introduce a new big bad, but no one takes to them? Or they try
It's
to...
more they were trying to introduce an old 80s toy line into the mythos in the form of the Visionaries. And they tried to take Cybertron as their... well, half of them tried to seize Cybertron. The other half were content to live as a colony on Cybertron since their original homeworld was gone. And yeah, Cuff was the one real casualty of that story.
Wow, that's... Why?
Pretty much just for shock value, too. And then, like I said, none of the Visionaries cast did anything before we hit Unicron, and the entire timeline ends.
Well then.
concepts that they introduced have carried over to other depictions of the character, including his fondness for chomping on a Cygar.
Oh, a
and his membership
Cygar.
in the Wreckers,
Yeah.
an idea that was even incorporated into the original Marvel Comics universe.
I mean, it's not
in
a
the
bad idea.
2012
He's an
Marvel
old man
sequel
after all.
series,
He feels like he
Regeneration
fits
1.
well.
Yeah.
Outside of comics,
Like,
though, Cup's
he's the Sergeant Johnson for me right now, you know what I mean? He's the one
I
to-
would have been your daddy, but the dog beat me over the fence.
media appearances have been pretty sparse, with no cartoon roles for over 30 years. A
And I'm mad
Transformers
about it.
animated version of the
Oh.
character was designed with
This
thought
isn't a
towards
bad
featuring him
design.
in that series, but he didn't make it in,
Yeah.
and was included only in the show's
But
All-Spark Almanac
saying you have a
guidebook.
Transformers animated version is... There's a Transformers animated version of pretty much everyone from G1.
They just never got to add them in.
Yeah.
No, the closest KUP got to appearing on TV during this time was 2005's Transformers Cybertron, in which the character of Breakdown was designed as a sort of homage to him. Also an elderly bot full of advice for the younger generation, Breakdown's alternate mode was designed to resemble KUP's Cybertronian mode from the 2002
I never
Dreamwave
seen Red
Productions
War with
comic,
him.
The War Within.
Like,
And in
Dreamwave's a big
2006,
blind spot for me.
A recolor of Breakdown's toy was released in
Oh, cool.
KUP-inspired colors. The first true new KUP toy since the 80s.
This was the
released
year I
as an
found out
exclusive
BotCon was a
at the
thing, and
official
I was so
convention
hyped.
BotCon in 2009.
I didn't go.
A retool and recolor of Cybertron Red Alert,
I was
which
like
transformed
11.
into an emergency
Ah, I can
sedan.
tell it's Red Alert.
As seen
Yeah.
in both the convention's exclusive comic
Cybertron
book
Red Alert's
and
a
further
really
comics
good
from the
toy.
Transformers Collectors Club, the toy represented KUP in his younger days, when he was a junior member of the Autobot Elite Guard back during the golden age of Cybertron. KUP was at last brought back to toy store shelves in 2011 with a new
Yeah, no, I
figure
think
in the
Generations Cup's a
Generations
very
toy line
good
that's
redesign.
converted into a regular
Oh, yeah.
old pickup truck rather than a futuristic one.
Especially the
A
exhaust pipe
Transformers
rifle.
Prime version of KUP followed in 2013.
Okay, this feels a bit
also with a modern pickup
not
mode.
good.
That's
This
just
one,
Ironhide.
A recolor
Yeah.
of a design created for KUP's fellow Autobot old-timer, Ironhide.
Yeah, I don't think the Ironhide toy actually
This
got released
version
in
of
the
KUP
US.
enjoyed a prominent appearance in the tie-in novel Retribution, in which he was brainwashed by
Don't
the
read
Quintessons
Retribution, it's
into
bad.
testifying against Optimus Prime in one of the aliens' trials.
Of course.
In 2017, a new toy of KUP with his original futuristic pickup form was released
don't like
in the
this one.
Titans Return line. Like all
The
figures,
problem I have with some of the Titans Returns look is a lot of the hollow bits, like right here.
For me, I can handle the hollow bits. It's crunching. Well, because he needs to have a transparent canopy, you can see the kibble inside him. His head feels a bit too flat. And I just really don't like the proportions on the pickup. It feels too bunched
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, I can tell.
in this series, the toy's head could disconnect
Yeah,
and
it's,
transform into a small Titanmaster robot named Flintlock. This KUP
Not a
was
bad
also
name.
released in Japan
just not
as
that
part of
chunky.
the Legends toy line,
Yeah, Flintlock's
with a
a great
more
name.
cartoon-accurate paint job and a new version of his classic Targetmaster partner. The toy earned KUP an appearance in the tie-in Legends manga, which continued the Japanese version of his story after the events of the Headmasters anime, reinventing his Targetmaster partner for Japanese continuity. Here, he was bonded not to the Nebulan
All right,
Recoil,
Sue.
but the human
Oh.
Sue Fairborn,
Wait,
daughter
what?
of the Autobots' old ally, Marissa Fairborn.
Okay.
2020 saw KUP finally make
Oh.
a full return to TV screens.
I think Cyberverse is a
Transformers
very
Cyberverse.
mid-series.
Ever the storyteller,
I'm
he
glad
served
that
as
it-
the
that
narrator
KUP's
for the
here.
4-part episode, The End of the Universe, recounting the
Oh,
tale of the
he's the
Transformers'
narrator.
great battle to stop a Quintesson-powered Starscream from
What the
destroying
hell?
the universe itself.
Yeah, that honestly the only
Now,
interesting
sadly-
thing Cyberverse did was the Quintessons.
And of course, unfortunately for Cyberverse, a lot of the toys don't look
The
good.
only toy of Cyberverse
Yeah.
KUP was a blind-bagged tiny turbo changer.
Shame, I love the Shockwave
However,
design.
the same year, a new toy of KUP based
Oh.
directly on his appearance
I don't
in
have
the
this,
original film
but I
and
have the
cartoon
Dion
was
it was
released
repainted into,
in
and
the
it's a
Studio
very
Series
good
toy line.
cup.
That's the most recent big event in the ongoing story of KUP. But knowing him, he'll be back for another adventure and another tall tale before long. In the meantime, the basics will continue to do its best with every new episode to remind everyone of KUP's core belief that the past is the
Yeah,
greatest
no,
teacher.
I love the idea of a guy who's been there, who's seen
And those are the
everything,
basics on KUP. Which of his many stories is your favorite?
and
Let me
nothing
know in the
freaking
comments. For
phases
more
him.
tales from Transformers history, maybe take a moment to subscribe and check out my other videos. Plus,
You know, except Unicron, that phased him.
I feel like Unicron phases a lot of people, but yeah, check out Chris McFeely for his wonderful work on Transformers, and what do you think of Cup down below? He seems like a nice guy. A nice guy to have a drink with. I don't remember what Transformers drink besides liquid energon, but anyway.
Energex, Nucleon, Nightmare Fuel. Oh, you want it? It's down at Swerves.
Well then, thank you all so much, and if you want more, and which ones do you want more of, comment down below. See you later.